Hi, welcome back to the Clean Way with MariLana. And today is Moldation 2, my long awaited. And this has been such a big deal for me because it's been mental, because I'm still in healing myself. We just had to move again and evacuate. We were homeless. I wanted to take you guys into that and show you what that meant and what I did to get through. But then I really wanted to be organized about it so that we can jump right in and I can really help y'all. So, today I am going to explain to you, first of all, why Moldation 2. Yeah, with this global warming, extreme weather, whatever you want to call it, definitely a lot more humidity or more extreme weather. Very difficult to keep a house dry, warm, dry, cool, dry, whether you have an HVAC system or not. One in every four homes, I think, in America has had some type of water damage, and very often severe water damage. Um, and that's a problem. House shouldn't be above 50% humidity, and that's the first thing. You have to be diligent in your home. If you have a home, whether you're home, own or rent, you should be checking this out because mold hides, moisture hides. It's very often behind the walls. The situation we were in, I just kept having little floods in my homes in Georgia. I was renting. I was trying to get to buy, but I just could never get there because the place I had rented would have a flood and they just didn't really take care of it properly. 24 to 48 hours, mold will grow. Any type of water, any type of humidity. So that's a bad thing. Time is not on your side. It's something that happens really quickly. So today, Moldation 2, I'm going to let you know, how do you know it's mold? How do you know if your home is making you sick? What do you do about it? How do you get out safely? What does that look like to evacuate a home? It's not like fire or flood where you just have to run and then you can't go back. This looks like, you can go back, so people will. And that was really bad for us. I kept bringing those things that were making me sick along the journey. And had I known, had there been somebody out there, and that's what I really wanted to do for you guys today. That's why I'm nervous. And then I have all my products around me today. I'm going to let you know what products I started with right away to get to a safe environment and to start getting my body back in shape. And again, had I known, I think my journey, my healing would have been much quicker. I'm less than 2 years, and based on how sick I was and how sensitive I was, I think my recovery is nothing short of miraculous. I'm just so excited to be here. Yay! And my pretty is coming back. I couldn't even look at myself for a while, so that's beautiful. And and then just going to prepare you for, going forward. What do you do? So let's get right into it. So how do you know? So you're in a home. It could be somebody else's home, even maybe your workplace, but you're feeling different. And I hear so many people today, young people even, talk about panic attacks. And I'm here to tell you there is no such thing as a panic attack. I don't believe it. It's not, because I had all these symptoms of bipolar, all of these things that could, drug addiction. I felt them all. Cancer, I felt it all. I looked like I had cancer. I couldn't gain weight. My cells must have been really bad. So I had a lot of symptoms. I was diagnosed with syringomyelia and syringobulbia about 6 months after moving to Georgia from Long Island, New York. I had grown up near the beach, near the water, and I was a hairdresser. I never really got sick when I was a hairstylist. I was around all kind of chemicals and stuff, but I guess hair salons most often, you can open a door, so we get fresh air in and out. And then I started teaching in the schools, and everybody tells you, oh, the kids bring in all these diseases, and kids bring in colds, and I started getting sick. And I now know it wasn't the kids, it's the building. It's the building. Most of these school buildings are old. They have humidity, they've had water damage, and they have mold. Yes, mold, mycotoxin. The fungus is among us. The fungus is all around. And the fungus is hyphae, with little things in the air with lots of filament, and they just grab. It's like these little reverse vacuum cleaners in the air that just grab onto something organic and grow little moisture, and they grow. um, so that's bad. So we moved into the home. And again, I had already had some symptoms, neurological symptoms with this syringomyelia, syringobulbia. Syringomyelia means I had a cyst or syrinx in the center of my spinal cord at my T6. I had multiple spinal cord herniations, so this is definitely a reason to have pain. I had had quite a bit of trauma. I was always a fast moving, New Yorker. I had a few car accidents, hit from behind, so neck, probably some whiplash. And then I had a really bad fall at my teaching job before I got sick. Um, Now they say the trifecta, three things that'll make you sick. One is your own head, stress. The other is toxins in your environment, and the other is accident or injury. So I had injury, I had the toxins, I had everything. And psychologically, well, I thought I was pretty tough. I just lost my mom. I had gone through a divorce, but I was really pretty tough about that. I didn't think it bothered me. I was like, ah, you know, just keep moving, always positive about things. So we moved into this home, and it was on the ground level. It was an apartment. They didn't show us the place till night, and that was bad. And then we had evidence of roaches. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's kind of, not kind of, but it is a combination. Roaches like water. So if there's leaks and stuff behind the wall, you will never get rid of those roaches. And that's what we had, and we just didn't understand. I never lived with roaches, and we just didn't have a choice. My husband had just come to America. It looked like a nice place, and then it seemed through the winter that they were able to get the roaches under control. So we thought everything was cool. And then comes spring, and the weather starts getting warm. And the first sign was my sister came to visit in April, and she said my HVAC filter was kind of dirty, and she was yelling at me. And I thought I was doing everything to keep the house clean. And we definitely were more mood issues. We were all having mood issues. My son is a teenager. He was having really bad body odor, bad skin, and we just thought, teenager, he's not showering. He needs to take better care. My husband, same thing, mood, sleeping a lot, but nothing so obvious. I was the one who was sick. I was the one who was already using a wheelchair, already having neurological issues, already just complaining. I was definitely having some problems with my stomach. So it just seemed like, well, it's just her. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. I was taking pictures. I would take pictures like my eyes, my eyeballs, the whites of my eyeballs, yellow, different things. I thought I was diagnosed with, they had dry eye. I had actually gone to the doctor for like a cyst in my eye. Never knew this was all mold. I had a cyst behind my leg. All these little things in the ear. Um, Within 2 months, my right shin went numb. And I thought, well, that's a sign of syringomyelia. We're going to have, you know, um, repeated and constant neurological decline, because this cyst in my spinal cord, I was told, is eating my spinal cord from the inside out. Could be a very slow progression, but something similar to like MS or Parkinson's, or ALS, but with much slower path. Yeah, I had a power wheelchair. I had a special power van with a ramp that would come out and pull me in. I would feel okay at moments, and I would try to dance or do things. I would get energy, and then I would just get exhausted. I would get winded. I would start to shake. I had tremors like from the inside out. I thought, yeah, this is all. My friends that had syringomyelia would say the same thing. I actually even ran a support group, and it looked like I was doing well out of everybody else, because I didn't really want to take all the painkillers and stuff that everybody else was taking. So the shin goes numb. I'm having trouble sleeping at night. I go to my pulmonologist. They say, yeah, you have asthma. Continued problems with the asthma. Use your inhaler. Seem to get a little bit of help. And this just kept going. And then the weather's getting nice. Our son was finishing school, and he figured he'd go up to New York for summer. And my husband and I just were trying, and we said, all right, let's go to Florida. Let's get some nice, get some nice weather, and maybe we'll feel better. And I did tell the landlords, it's a good thing. I told them that there was definitely a problem with moisture. I thought there was a problem with mold, but I just saw a little black up on the ceiling, like around the bathroom. I didn't know that like behind the walls was just leaking. And it wasn't just when you see the mold, it's just like the roaches, whatever you see. They say there's thousands behind the wall. So if you're seeing that little bit of mycotoxin where it grows, the hyphae grows and it gets fuzzy, that's not the only part of the mold. Mold does become a toxin, and a toxin that is a gas. Most toxins are gases. These are things that turn into gas. So I didn't see that. But the walls look really damp. I told them to check it out. When we went to Florida, I felt great when I was at the beach. But then we went back to the house we were staying in, my husband's family, and she had the plug-in air fresheners, and oh my God, I was just having such a reaction to them. I would get angry, and then she had the bleach in the toilets, and the same thing. I was just so sensitive to these things, but it was seeming more psychological, a little stuffiness. It wasn't manifesting into something so specific that, I could draw conclusions. Then we went back to the home after like 2 weeks, and right away, same thing. Husband and I are fighting, and something's not right. I go in our son's bathroom. Now he was away; he was up in New York, and the wall looked funny, and I went to wipe it. You might have seen this in the other video, and my finger literally just the wall was cheese. The wall had turned to cottage cheese. I mean, like cheese. And maintenance was like, "Oh no, it's okay. We're just gonna patch it up." I'm like, "Patch it up," and I want to get out. My husband doesn't want to get out. My son, what do you mean move? We just moved. We're not even in this place, just coming up on a year, and we want to buy a home. We don't want to rent again. We're trying to save. We're trying to get stable. And finger went through the wall. And they did the best thing to me. They're going to be in trouble for it. But they gave us an eviction notice and said that we never renewed. I don't know. We didn't do something 2 days later. I'm trying to pack up. I'm trying to clean up. I'm trying to look for apartments, and I'm just out of my head. I'm cutting myself. I'm scratching my leg. I'm seeing roaches in the kitchen, and I'm just thinking, like, how am I going to get out of here? Then after my finger goes through the wall, every day got a little worse. I think it was the second or third day after that. I woke up. I'm in my bathroom. I have videotapes of me literally just vomiting mucus. I mean, my eyes are just running. My nose is just running. I can't breathe. Stuff is just coming out of me from all directions. It was horrible. And I was like, we got to get out. And thankfully, my guys listened, and we got out. We had to leave the cat. I just felt too sick at that point. My heart is racing, and I said, we just got to get out. So we have a beautiful Maine Coon. He was about 5 years old at the time. So we just have to leave him. And then the landlords were like, well, you decided to evacuate, and you need to check on the place. And so we said, well, we got to stay close. We have to keep checking. So we came back. We stayed in a hotel for 2 nights. I felt a lot better. We came back to check 2 days later, and I was afraid to go in. So they brought the cat out to me in my wheelchair van. And as soon as they brought the cat out, and oh my gosh, he reeked. He reeked of mold at that point. He smelled so musty. I said, yes, it is the mold. But I'm still thinking, no, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. I've been sick. I have this weird syringomyelia nobody ever heard of. My family used to say to me, oh, you're going to pretend to use your wheelchair because I can walk, but I can never walk distances. I would just get winded. I would get out of breath. My muscles sometimes would just give up. I had times where I felt good, and I had times where I didn't feel normal, and I didn't even understand. But the outsiders, just making me feel worse. So it was that bad. We get out, check the cat. He had been vomiting. There had been some other things. So now fast forward, we know we really can't get back to this place. We can't live in this place. So what do we do? So I made a bunch of phone calls, and it was suggested that we have an ERMI test, ERMI. And I got this guy, and he said he'll come in and he'll do some carpet samples, and he'll test the air samples to see if the air inside the home matches the air outside of the home. And he very quickly charged about $200 for that. That's about all tests like that should be, just to preliminarily see if you have a problem. And he let us know right away that the hyphae was really high. I think I want to say the numbers were like over 1,000, and it was much higher than the outside air quality. So this was bad. He told us we needed to continue testing. He actually came very upset and said he just left a lady that was dying from the same thing. She had to evacuate her home. So we got tested. and we got out. If you know there's mold and you're not feeling well, I'm going to tell you you got to get out. This is the scary part, but get out. I'll be back and tell you exactly what that means.